Hi there, it's Eileen from Teach with ND, and I want to talk to you about using Speechify for grading, especially if you are a neurodivergent teacher. So there's a lot of reasons why grading might become one of those things that you put off and dread doing, and you might have a stack of papers piled up, and maybe student work goes missing, or students get frustrated when they don't get their work back in a timely manner. And all of that is understandable when you look at it through the lens of executive functions. But for the purpose of this post, I want to offer that a text-to-speech tool such as Speechify can really help you stay ahead and feel better about yourself and give those students their work back faster, which is a win-win for everybody, right? So listening in general can work better for neurodivergent people, including teachers. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. And of course, it's not true for everybody. Everybody's different. But I know, like speaking from my own experience, that if there's something that I really want to read, but I just don't have time, or, I have been putting it off, the best thing for me to do is to be able to listen to it. And personally, I've found Speechify to be the easiest way to do that. But there's other reasons too, like I've said in some other posts, being able to be up and moving around can help me and maybe you focus better. And sometimes if we can engage in another sort of routine task that doesn't take up a lot of our, brain power, that it gives our hands something to do. And when our hands are occupied, sometimes our brains can focus and retain information better. So there's a lot of interesting things that happen when we listen. And obviously that's especially true as well if you have dyslexia or visual impairments. And so as far as importing the actual student work into Speechify, you have different options. Probably the easiest would be if you're on your computer and you can select, copy and paste the text into Speechify. That's always an easy way to do it. You can also download and upload PDFs. You can take pictures of handwritten pieces, and even like your own notes and things that you want to go over as well. There is also on the Chrome browser, if you're on your computer, you can use the extension to help listen, especially to Google Docs. There's a integration with Google Docs that can help you get through those papers, those documents. Of course, you don't want to upload something that is highly sensitive or has, identifying information, just as best practices. But if you have any questions, I would definitely check in with your tech integration team and just make sure that you have the go ahead to do this. But yeah. So if you have a lot of papers to get through, you could think of it as batching and upload a whole bunch of different papers at the same time, and then listen to it as you're pacing around your home or what have you, and think of it kind of as a grading playlist, as a way to get through those quicker. And of course, when you do that, you could also consider having your rubrics out. You could have checklists that you've made and other shorthand notes to have as you are listening to the work. Another point I'd like to mention is that if you are able to do this in a random way, shuffling the papers or however you do that, if there's a way you can remove the students' names, that could be an interesting way to experiment with grading, without knowing who the person is submitting. And in that way, you could potentially check any, biases that you might have that you might not be aware of. And if you find yourself super hesitant or reluctant to get started, I totally get it. There's no judgment. But you could try having some scripts ready to talk to yourself in those situations. You could say something to yourself like, I can pause whenever I want, or I'm only listening, not finishing, things like that. And then, of course, rewarding yourself with whether it's a coffee from your favorite coffee shop, or listening to a favorite song, or a sticker if that makes you happy. Finding those creative ways to give your brain that little boost of dopamine that can really help you get through it. So to wrap up, you can remember that audio is a valid accommodation, not only for your students, but also for yourself. Batching saves time, it saves your energy. And when you are able to treat yourself those ways, you can not only prevent burnout, but just feel better and enjoy your job a little bit more potentially. So I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.